draw these lines in the sand like we've been doing with those rods that we got, okay? And this is kind of a pretty fundamental training aid when we're in the bunker or when you're trying to practice a drill. We want to learn how to help ourselves get in the right setup, okay? So in the bunker, we want that ball, just to start as a standard bunker shot, I'm going to ask you to kind of put that ball in the middle of your stance. So we're going to try to get equidistant apart, kind of going back to our nice fundamental setup. Weight is going to be pretty neutral to start, and once we set up to the ball, I'm going to ask us to kind of get to that left side a little bit more than normal, okay? We're going to kind of feel like we're leaning into that left side. That's going to help us get that club a little bit more on a downward descent instead of what we see a lot of the time in the bunker is people are trying to lift the ball out of the bunker, okay? And we miss the ball, all right? We see that all too often, okay? And the idea behind this is when we have our weight in the right spot, going down into the ball, it allows us to get underneath that ball without even having to try to help it up, okay? That's what the loft on the club is for. That's why we have 60 degrees of loft. I've asked you to bring two clubs down here today, a lob wedge and a sand wedge. Sometimes I like to use the lob wedge for kind of a shorter shot and a sand wedge for kind of a little bit of a longer shot. The lob wedge that I have has a little less bounce than most. That helps me get under it. Sand wedges are going to have a little more bounce to kind of help that club hit and come out of the sand, all right? So I don't know what you guys got over there, but we can talk about that kind of individually as we go down the line. So anyway, we're going to get set up. Middle of our stance, we're going to be leaning left a little bit. We'll talk about the club face being open and the club face being shut, but for now we're just going to start again with that club head and that bottom leading edge square to the middle of our stance, okay, on that line. When we start doing that, what I want you to do is we're leaning left and we're just going to try to make a few swings where we get up to the top and we're going to stop and we're going to check that we're in a good loaded position instead of, if we bring that club inside, our club path now means that we're in trouble and we're going to have to come down and we're going to have to stand up, okay? So that's kind of the death of me, at least when I'm in the bunker, and it could be different for you guys. We could be taking it outside and chopping down. For now, we're just going to try to take that club back along our foot line like we've been doing in the last few lessons, okay? So club back, boom, and then we're going to lean left into that left side and try to hit it out of there, okay? And if we can do that a few times, you kind of notice where I entered the sand too, right on that same spot is where that middle line is, okay? So to start, what I'm going to have you guys do is individually, I'm just going to have you kind of come up here. Another key point when we're setting up is, do we want that club straight up and down in between our legs right here? If I'm set up and it's a good setup and I'm on the balls of my feet, if this club is going straight up through my chest, is that a good spot for my hands and where they're at to start? Okay, it's a good answer, no, right? And the reason behind that is what we're trying to do in an iron swing or a full swing is get back down to the spot where we started, okay? And when we start, all I mean by that is if my hands are a little bit forward, kind of as a checkpoint, I like to think about them on the inside of my left thigh here. And if we can do that, when I take that full swing and I start committing all this momentum down and through the ball, look at where I'm at, okay? I got back down to the same spot as where I started, but now I have a lot more momentum behind that shot. If I start with the hands in the middle like this, what it kind of helps us do or dictates is going to be taking that club back, and then a lot of the time it's going to create us to kind of try to get underneath the ball. And that's where we tend to see a top, or we don't feel like all that momentum that we've just built on our backswing is built up enough to come down and through the ball, okay? So as a starter, without a ball,